May 24th, Saints' Donation and Rogation. In this age of compromise and fleeting loyalties, let us turn our hearts to two radiant stars in the firmament of the Church. These brothers in blood and brothers in martyrdom, whose feast we celebrate today, May 24th. Their story is set in the ancient city of Nantes. It is a clarion call to fidelity, a blazing testament to the power of faith to transform souls and defy the power of this world. In the 3rd century, under the iron fist of Emperor Maximian, the world was dark, steeped in pagan idolatry, and the blood of Christians watered the earth. In Nantes, there lived a young nobleman, Donation, whose heart had been touched by the fire of baptism, that sacred regeneration which makes us children of God. His life was a sermon in action, edifying, zealous, a beacon of Christ's love. With every word and deed, Donation strove to draw souls to the truth, to the cross that alone gives meaning to our fleeting existence. His elder brother, Rogatian, watched him. At first indifferent, Rogatian's heart could not resist the silent eloquence of Donation's piety. The force of his brother's example, like a river wearing down a stone, moved Rogatian to desire baptism, to yearn for that cleansing flood of grace. But alas, the Bishop of Nantes had fled into hiding, driven underground by the cruel persecutions. Rogatian could not receive the sacrament he so ardently desired. Yet God's ways are not our ways, and the Lord had prepared a greater baptism for him, a baptism of blood. The brothers were denounced. Donation, bold and unyielding, was seized for professing Christ and leading others, especially his brother, away from the false gods of Rome. Cast into prison, loaded with irons, he stood firm before the governor, confessing Christ with a courage that makes the heart tremble with awe. Rogatian, too, was brought before the prefect. The flatteries of the world could not sway him. He declared himself a Christian, knowing full well that such a profession was a death sentence. Together, they spent their final night in fervent prayer, bound in chains yet free in spirit. Rogatian grieved that he had not received the waters of baptism. But Donation, with the wisdom of faith, reassured him, "The blood of your martyrdom will be your baptism, and your sacrifice your confirmation." The next morning, the inhumane sentence was pronounced. They were stretched upon the rack, their bodies pierced with lances, and finally they were beheaded. Their blood mingled with the earth of Nantes, and their souls ascended to the eternal embrace of their Savior. But what does this story teach us? Like a painter with bold strokes, God uses the lives of Donation and Rogatian to show us the beauty of fraternal love, the power of example, and the glory of martyrdom. Donation's zeal converted his brother, proving that one holy soul can set another ablaze. Rogatian's baptism of desire, sealed by his blood, reminds us that God's grace is never bound by circumstance. Their courage before the prefect calls us to stand firm in our faith, even when the world demands we bow to its idols, be they power, pleasure, or pride. May these saints' lives be an example for us and inspire us to live boldly for Christ, to lead others to Him by our lives, and to cling to the faith even unto death.